up by Green. Throws it back up top. James puts up the three. Oh, it's good! LeBron James from downtown.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Three Guys on Mic. I'm William, joined by my two co-hosts, Jeremiah and Aaron. And the Milwaukee Bucks finally did it. They finally got over the hump. They're the 2021 NBA champions. And it's been a long road for them. There's been a lot of labels placed on them. And I'm going to start it off with Jeremiah. I want to see what you think about this game.
Talking about the game, I, for one, believe it was a competitive game. I think, it was going back and forth for the most part. Starting off, first quarter, the Bucks scored more. Second quarter, Suns scored more. So at halftime, it was actually pretty even going in, right? I knew it was going to be a game from there. Going into the third quarter, near the end, you got this feeling that it's going to go down to the last minute, right? You feel like it's going to go down the last few minutes, and I believe that's what it went down to. I thought it was a phenomenal offensive game by the Bucks. I think the Suns are kind of lacking. I will talk about that later. However, congratulations to the Bucks. Honestly, at this point, you can't take anything away from them because the route they went was an easy one. That's what I'm going to say about the game.
Little man, you go ahead.
I think the series flipped, obviously, after that game 3. And I think in those first two games, the Suns, remember how I was saying that the Bucks would come back or go on a run and then the Suns would make a shot and kill the momentum?
Yes.
I feel like the Bucks have done that these past 4 games straight.
Yeah.
I love their rhythm on offense compared to the Suns, who looked like they had none, honestly. The only bright spot I saw was CP3. I mean, D-Book struggled, I get that. But the one person I want to put some of the blame on, honestly, has to be Aiden.
Yeah.
I mean, after those 2 games, he really didn't show much. We all saw the potential the first 2 rounds, like we've been saying. But, I mean, I think he has that step to be the next big man. I just think Giannis was too much. It was way too much for him to handle. That's what I got to say about that.
Willie?
Okay. Well, watching that game, from the first minute, you saw the impact that Giannis had. Yeah. From the very first minute, Giannis, he gets a block, and then goes down the other end, and then he gets a layup. And honestly, the first quarter, I honestly thought it was going to be a blowout game. Like, I think Jeremiah or Littleman, someone said it before we started recording, that this game should have been a blowout. And honestly, the Suns shooting 7 for 24 in the first quarter, it should have been a blowout. It honestly looked like they were rattled by the home crowd. It looked like they knew what it was. They knew they were one loss away from going home. And I feel like the Bucks on the other side knew they were 1 win away from winning the championship, and they looked rattled too. They looked nervous too a little bit. It was a very sloppy game. And then the Bucks followed up by a 13-point second quarter. Honestly, like, I thought it was gonna be like, okay, like they're gonna have to pull a trick out of their hat, just do anything. And the halftime adjustment was clear: give the ball to Giannis. Just give it to Giannis, make him go to the line, which he was making all of his free throws, by the way, which is unexpected. And like, it honestly, like Loma was saying, Aiden just looked like he looked rattled. He didn't look like he was ready for that moment, and I don't blame him. He's still a very young player. I'd be afraid too if I saw Giannis doing what he was doing. I feel like in this game, the Suns just showed their youth. D-Book just couldn't get it going early on. He never really got it going. He had a quiet 19 points. It seemed like he wasn't doing anything all game, really. Aiden got in foul trouble, and they were just young. Chris Paul was doing what he could, but it wasn't enough. And to think about it, the supporting cast for the Bucks, they didn't really do a lot either.
Yeah.
Middleton, I mean, he didn't shoot bad at all, but he had 17, 5, 5, and 4 steals. So he wasn't really having a 40-point game like he was. He wasn't having a big, phenomenal game, but he was contributing. But I think where this game played to the Bucks' strengths was that there was only 12 3-pointers made between both teams. And again, Giannis's game he's known as the run and dunk man, right? And when you're gonna trade twos with the Bucks, I mean, that's not gonna work in your favor. And as we were saying, the Bucks are that black Air Force One team. Yeah. Right. So I mean, it was a physical, scrappy, sloppy game, and it played to the Bucks' advantage. As I said, Holiday, he didn't really have to play or shoot that well because it doesn't affect his game. Yeah. And he had 12, 9, 11 with 4 steals.
He just makes the right plays.
Yeah. So and also he had huge plays against CP3 and Devin Booker. So I mean, it goes to show you that this game played to the Bucks' advantage, and it shows why they won the championship.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. I, for one, I called a Bucks in 6 victory long ago, so I'll stand by that. Take my credit for that.
What was long ago?
About a week ago. Sounds Bobby Smurda. So I called it. I'm happy I got to see it come to fruition, play out right in front of me. Willie, piggybacking off what you said, yeah, be honest, man. 50 points, incredible, right? One thing watching this game, I was thinking to myself, if you guys remember when Kevin Durant had 47, right? And he had that amazing game, right? But he just couldn't get it done. He couldn't make that last shot, right? He couldn't, as you said, get over the hump, right? Not comparing the two, but Giannis scored more points and got over the hump. He got it done for his team, right? I think it's incredible for him. I mean, we all saw how emotional he was, just not like on the bench, crying. Just he even said, "I effing did it," right? He was incredibly proud of himself. PJ Tucker, I don't know why I hate on this man so much, but it just congratulations, PJ Tucker. He couldn't get done with the Rockets, got done with the Bucks here. I think it's phenomenal to see that Middleton and Giannis, who were on a team that I think it was 5 years ago, had one of the worst rosters in the NBA.
Was it 8 or something?
Was it 8?
I think it was
13.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
8,
So yeah, there you go. Right, had one of the. They were the only players from that roster, right, to come all this way. The journey, man. You mean I believe they're the 2 lowest rated players in 2K, right?
At one point.
Yeah, at one point, right. So for that ability to come all the way here, it's night and day. Congratulations to that Bucks franchise. And one thing I want to say is the sportsmanship from the Sunset coach. To come into the locker room and give a speech thanking him for making him a better coach, right? I think that's something that you want to see, right? So that makes the sport one of the greatest sports in the world. Little man?
I think the one thing about Giannis is that he's finally come full circle completely. I mean, I've been a fan of Giannis since 2017, his first All-Star. And I always said that he would win a championship, but watching the 2019 season when they blew that 2-0 lead and they built the wall, that defense, I really didn't know if he could, because at that point I thought if someone throws that at him every playoffs, I don't think he's gonna make it.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that 2020. Unfortunately, he got hurt, but before that, the Miami Heat were doing that to him, and next thing you know, they were eliminated. But the one thing that Monty Williams, don't get me wrong, he's a great coach, but the one thing that he did wrong was play the way he played Giannis. I mean, with DeAndre Ayton and Jay Crowder, considering that they're all small, except for DeAndre Ayton, nobody else besides him is over 7 foot.
Well, DeAndre Ayton has a smaller frame.
But he does have a smaller frame, so that means Giannis can attack whenever he wants. But I think that's how he got 50 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. I mean, it's just his size, his dedication to that team. He never gave up on them. And shout out to him for finally putting in the recognition or he's gonna get his recognition and his respect.
Hall of Fame career sealed up. Well, one thing I want to say, I want to piggyback off you. There's a clip out there of Giannis dunking on 3 players last night. He dunked on 3 players last night. That just shows you his strength, his athleticism. He's just he is a Greek freak. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
And yeah, like how you were saying when he dunked on those 3 players, it's like when they came out of halftime, the plan. I feel like Giannis' plan in his head, because they had a 13-point second quarter. The crowd wasn't really into it like that. His player, you could tell that the Bucks were kind of we're gonna have to pull something out. And Giannis came out and was making big impact plays.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's something that was huge. But as you guys were saying, that Giannis he's now solidified his Hall of Fame career. At 26 years old, he solidified his Hall of Fame career, and a lot of people still are trying to discredit him, saying that he can't shoot from the line, right? You know who else can't shoot from the line?
Who?
There's a guy, there's a kid who everyone's gonna say he's the face of the league, right? In the NBA playoffs this year, shot 52% from the free throw line. As a guard, he's not a big man like Giannis. Luka Doncic shot 52% from the free throw line. But then again, I never saw anyone saying that his game isn't complete. That's not a superstar because of that, right? So I don't think it's fair to judge Giannis because he has a few flaws in his game when he's doing everything else phenomenally. and honestly, it's incredible that Giannis got to stay in that town. I mean, anywhere he went, people would have welcomed him with open arms, right? He could have gone to Golden State, could have gone to Miami, to Boston. Anyone, there's really no, shut up. Anyone is really, they're gonna welcome him unless it's like the Sixers who haven't beat or something like that. But they're gonna want Giannis on the team. He still wanted to stay, and at times we all kind of said that he should have left. I feel like he should have left last year, but I was wrong about it. Honestly, because I didn't trust Middleton. I didn't think Holiday was that great to get them a championship. But so props to him. And again, a lot of people are saying that he isn't a closer, but yet in late games he gave us 3 big legendary moments this series, right? He gave us the block, the alley-oop, and then he closes out the game. He closed out the series and with the 50-pointer, having 14 rebounds and 5 blocks. So it's honestly incredible for Giannis. I'm just glad to see him finally get his ring, for Middleton to get his ring. But on the other side, looking in, I want to know your guys' opinions about the Suns and their championship hopes next year. Chris Paul, what do you guys think about that?
Personally, I think they can do it again, if I'm being honest. I mean, they have the right coach, the right system, talented young players, sharp shooters. But I'm just honestly not sure about CP3's future. Because, I mean, if they couldn't get it done, I mean, he did all he can. And I know he's going to be 37, I think, next year. But, I mean, I think he's going to take a look at all the options he can in the offseason.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you there. I even said last week, in our last episode, I said both these teams aren't going anywhere, right? Both these teams are still going to be successful. Lamar, I don't know if you actually watched the game, but after the game, Chris Paul was like, I'm not going anywhere. He's like, back to work, right?
He said, I'm not retiring.
Yeah, they asked him about, okay, you know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm not going to retire. Yeah, I'm not leaving the game, right? I feel like Chris Paul, you know, and Stephen A. Smith even piggybacked on that. He was like, you know, this could be, when we look back at it, we could be like, this was Chris Paul's, this was his chance. Like, this was it, right? I don't see a reason for him leaving his one chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the Suns will be like, oh, we don't want you. Like, come on.
They're going to want him back.
Yeah, exactly. As far as looking to add another piece, I mean, I feel like everything you need is already on this roster. It just, I mean, I wouldn't mind Aiden adding on another 10 pounds. You mean like put 10 more pounds on Aiden, right? I think Devin Booker's going to go back. He's going to get back in the gym, realize this. I think he's going to come back even stronger next year. And, you know, it's amazing experience for a team, right? Amazing experience for a team that, you know, going back to the bubble. 8-0. They went on an 8-0 bubble run, right? That just kept on building all the way to this point. And I think it's phenomenal. And sky's the limit. That's what I have to say about this Phoenix Suns team.
Yeah, I agree with you. And again, the whole thing about this year for the Suns being a fluke, the only thing I would say about that is that I still think the Suns could have made the finals this year, but I just think if everyone who they faced was healthy, I feel like it would have been a lot harder. But that doesn't mean that they couldn't win. It doesn't mean like they would have gotten blown out. But I just feel like the Clippers series would have gone to 7. The Lakers would have gone to 7. I feel like the Nuggets probably could have gone to 7. But Jamal Murray, whom I think is a top 15 player.
I said top 20.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so I feel like the Suns, and as Jeremiah, great point. There's nowhere else that Chris Paul could go that you're gonna have a better situation. You have Devin Booker, who's a young player. How old is he? 24, whatever. He's still very young, and he's gonna improve.
Pieces around him. Maybe you have the pain train coming off the bench too.
And Monty Williams is like his best friend.
And I was gonna say that Monty Williams is a class act, as you saw with Giannis, with his speeches after the games, having just, you know, he's that guy. Like, as a coach, I would want him as my coach. But and it just sucks for the Suns and for the Milwaukee Bucks. I think it's good that they won this year with the Nets. I'm not trying to discredit the Bucks, but I'm saying with the Nets being hurt, this is their year, because you can't look back in a year or two and be like, damn, this is the year we should have won. This is the year we could have won with Durant coming back from an Achilles tear, Harden hurt, Kyrie hurt. You know what I mean? So I feel like this was good for them, and I still think that they could repeat next year. They are always in the mix for that title. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, just congrats to the Milwaukee Bucks, and they finally did it. They finally got the hump. They finally got the monkey off their back. So yeah. Anything else, guys? Are you trying to do a light skin face?
No, I never heard that. Monkey off the back. I never heard that one before in my life.
You never heard monkey?
No, I never heard monkey on the back. Thank you guys for watching this episode. 3 guys on mic. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe down below. Each and every day, each and every episode, I say this every day. We get more and more subscribers, guys. Really appreciate the love. If you guys want a hydro sticker, reach out to us. We're more than willing to hand them out to you guys. And like I said, just interact with us. I actually make TikToks, kind of blowing up out there. Okay, so follow our TikToks, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck.